This is by far my favorite watercolor experience that I've done. First, I want you to look at these two and compare them, see if you have a favorite or if you can tell which one is cheaper. So you can see texture. So one of these is not only the cheapest watercolor paper, but it's also the cheapest paint. And the other one is not just the most expensive watercolor paper that I own, but it's also the most expensive paint that I own. Okay, so did you guess? You should put it in the comments too.
We'll get back to that at the end to see if you were right in your guess. But now we are going to go ahead and start painting these and show what that process is like using our expensive paint on different types of paper. This is the paint set that I'm using, and unfortunately, I don't have a lot of information about it because it was given to me and I actually can't find a lot of details about it online. So I wanted you to see the colors that it has. I do wish that one of the yellows that are so similar was a black because I don't want to have to spend time mixing it. But if the Cotman set is kind of comparable to this, then it's about $20 for this little travel pocket box set. And the newer ones, the Cotman ones, do have a black and I think a white too. So that's really nice because a couple of the browns in this, or like the orangey colors, are also very similar. So I think they did some good updates with that. $20 may not seem expensive for watercolor paint, but for this series of tests, my other paints are $1.25 for a set and about $11 for the other set. So I will link to the Cotman set, but here I am just doing the same painting that I did for the less expensive paint, the paint from Dollar Tree for $1.25. And I'm using the different types of paper. I labeled them so I don't get them confused. And I'm just repeating the same little tiny painting as closely as I can, which was kind of difficult. So if you missed that video, I will also link to it in the description. And then I have one more video coming up that is me testing my mid-priced paints on all of these papers. And I will share my final thoughts about each one and about this project and series and testing just in general and overall. So if you are enjoying this video and learning anything from it, I would appreciate it if you take a second to like and subscribe. Oh, and I also used the same pen and paintbrush, although I really like the paintbrush that came with my travel set. I like the way that the brush behaves. It is a sable brush. I also like the size of it, but it is kind of annoying the way that you put the cap on. Like, I feel like sometimes it's going to fall out. And actually, it does sometimes come apart while I'm painting, which is very annoying. Maybe the newer one doesn't do that, but I really want to find a full size regular brush that is as awesome as this one. So, the brush that I'm using here is the Princeton Neptune 6, and I think I just want it to be the size 2. So, I'm going to order one of those eventually and see if I like it as much as the one that came with this Winsor & Newton set.
Anyway, how about we just say the one that looks more torn? versus the one with a little bit straighter edges. So here's the one that's like torn a little bit or straight. Okay, anyway, I'll stop now. This is the one that is on my least expensive paper and least expensive paint that I own, and this is on the most expensive paper and most expensive paint that I own.
This definitely makes me want to experiment more. Did you like the expensive one more? And do you think it's worth it, even as a hobbyist?